Hey, what's up guys? So today I'm going to describe to you what environment variables are. But before we talk about environment variables, let's first quickly talk about what a variable is. So a variable is a name that we give to values. To later access that value, you can specify the variable's name. So if we look at an example, I'm going to go inside of a Python script and create a variable name of greeting, and I'm going to assign it to a value of hello world. And one important thing to understand is this variable name of greeting and its value of hello world will be stored in memory when we run our script. And inside of this script, I can later reference the hello world value by referencing the greeting variable. So if we look at line 3, I'm saying I want to print out the value of the greeting variable. I then go ahead and save this script. And when I run my script, it simply prints out the value of the greeting variable, which is hello world. Okay, so we're familiar with variables in regular scripts, but here's the thing. The greeting variable and its value is only relevant within this script. If I run other scripts, they're not going to know what the greeting variable is. What we can instead do is use something called environment variables. And environment variables are variables that are assigned to values at the operating system level. So here I'm connecting into the Linux OS. I'm running the env command. And what I can see here is a long list of environment variables. And these are variables and values that are used to define how the Linux operating system is set up. But we can also sometimes use them to control applications and scripts. So if we look at a couple examples here, notice there's an environment variable of shell, and it's assigned to a value of bin bash. There's another environment variable of user, and it's assigned to a value of Bob. So you can also create your own custom environment variables by using the export command. So to do this, we use the export command. We then specify the variable name. We use an equal sign, and then we follow it by a value. Now, one common scenario environment variables get used for are for sensitive data inside of your scripts. One thing you never want to do is hard code your username and passwords into your scripts. If you actually hard code your username and password into your script like we're doing right here, and if we were to push this to a public repo like GitHub, that's a major problem. Okay, everyone is going to see your username and password. That's not good. So instead of hard coding credentials into your script, you can instead use environment variables. So if we look at this example, I'm creating an environment variable called username, and I'm assigning it to a value of admin. And then I'm creating another environment variable called password, and I'm assigning it to a value of secret pass. All right, now I'm going to go back into my script, and instead of hard coding the username and password into my script, I'm going to import the OS module into my script. And then from the OS module, I'm going to use something called the getEnv function. And I'm then going to specify the name of the environment variable that I earlier just created on my operating system. So if we look at line 3 here, I'm saying I want to retrieve the value of the username environment variable on my Linux operating system. And I want to store the value into the username variable inside this script. In line 4, I'm saying I want to retrieve the value of the password environment variable, and I want to store the value into the password variable inside of the script. But essentially, that script is going to take these values for these environment variables, and they're going to store them into regular variables when our script gets executed. Now, the benefit of doing this is my script still works when I run it on my local machine, but the username and password are no longer hard-coded into the script. And if I was to push this file to a remote repo, there's going to be no username and password for everyone to see. So that's how I would describe environment variables, but how would you describe environment variables? Feel free to leave me a comment and let me know. All right, that's all I got, everyone. I hope this was useful, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Thank you.